Gunslinger video. I realized it's been a while since we did a story time here on the channel, so I thought why not and do one today. First story time in 2023. Alright guys, so this event took place back in my second to last year of high school. Yep, I was 17 years old at the time, and I was in art class, and I guess you could say it's a somewhat one of my favorite subjects. I mean, I'm more good at writing than art, but anyways, on to the story. I go to art class, right? And there's the art teacher, Mr. Red. I mentioned him before. I knew him for a very long time, and there were like 5 or 6 other students in the class, and one of them did not like me for some odd reason. We're gonna call this guy Mouth because he had a habit of running his mouth and just being nasty, right? He was pretty much verbally abusive or something. Alright, so my first problem with him started when I finished my art assignment early. You know, I pretty much finished before everyone else. I don't know how. I started the same time as they did. Yeah, no clue how. But hey, you know, I wasn't gonna complain. And so, since I had the rest of the class free, you know, no assignments to do, I went ahead and took a look at Mr. Red's comic book collection that was in the bookshelf that was behind me. Now, I'm not much of a comic book person, okay? Yep, I know some of you guys are going to be saying, the comic books are great. What are you talking about? Are you sick? No, I'm not sick. I just never really got much into comic books. I mean, I have comic books like somewhere. I just haven't really read them in a long time. But yeah. There's this comic book series Mr. Red had that I liked. It was called The Punisher. For those of you who don't know The Punisher, he's a Marvel character. I can't be certain if this is the right term, but or word to call him, but I believe he is an anti-hero, since, you know, takes out criminals. Yep, he's a one-man war against crime. So I was reading a few of the comic books, and Mr. Red walked over and said, and decided to see how I'm enjoying the comic books. He says, how are you liking the comic books? And I said, they're awesome, Mr. Red. Frank Castle is a quite interesting character. I mean, he's pretty good with a Beretta M9 and a 1911, and God knows what other weapons he could use. So as I was explaining why I found Frank Castle interesting, I don't know why, but Mouth looked over at my direction and just said straight up, "Weirdo," and I don't know why. I look at him all confused and say, "What?" He says, "You're a weirdo." I don't know why he said that, but you know, I was not going to go ahead and start yelling at him, because really, it just wasn't worth the fight. Alright, so I go ahead and said, "Alright, well, I'm sorry you think that way." And I just turned my attention back to the comic book. Now, for the next few days to the end of the month, he had some sort of weird beef with me or something, and I never even done anything to this guy. Alright? He tried starting stuff with me multiple times. I mean, he tried trash talking me. You know, but I just kept being the bigger person, ignoring him. Alright? It wasn't easy, I'll tell you guys that much. He even went ahead and tried slowing me down in my art assignments, for example, like unplugging the hot glue gun, or unplugging the wood burner pens, or stealing art supplies from my desk when I wasn't looking. He would also knock things over on my desk. Luckily, none of them were water, you know, for paintbrushes or whatever. Oh yeah, there are also times we used to sometimes do art projects with clay, and he would knock mine over. it just wasn't cool, alright? And whenever he did that, I just looked at him and said, really? And he always says, yep, really. So then I ask him, what the hell's your problem? And then he says, I just don't like you, man. Alright? And I go ahead and tell him, well, that's not a reasonable excuse. Alright? I mean, if he doesn't like me, why is he even talking to me or doing these things? He could just simply ignore me. You know, we didn't have to talk to each other or anything. So then Mr. Red walks over and says, what's going on? And he tries to pin it, and then Mouth tries to pin it on me, saying that I'm trying to start stuff with him. And I told Mr. Red, no, that's actually not true. He's just coming over here messing up my art projects and trash talking me. I've been putting up for the last few days. And thankfully, Mr. Red knows me well enough that I don't start stuff. So then he looks at Mouth and says, alright, why don't you just leave him alone, alright? And then Mouth didn't really like his response because he was like, what are you talking about? He's messing with me. Which wasn't true. I don't even talk to the guy, alright? I only talk to him when he called me a weirdo and when I just had about enough of him messing up my things. And I said to him, dude, I don't even talk to you. I don't even know who you are. I don't even like you. Alright? Yeah, can you guys actually blame me for not liking him? Because he kept messing with me for no reason. I never done anything to him. So then he says, F you, man. And I said, what did I do? And then Mr. Red told him, alright, go sit over there away from him, alright? But he wasn't gonna move his desk or whatever. I guess he was sitting next to his friend or something. I don't know. His friend never said anything, right? His friend also never messed with me. So I'm guessing he didn't want any beef either. So then Mr. Red asked him again, why do you keep messing with him? He hasn't done anything to you. And then again, Mouth says, I just don't like him, okay? And I told him, if you don't like me, why are you even talking to me or interacting with me or even doing these things, huh? If anything, you're being the dumb one for talking to someone you don't like. And I guess that ticked off Mouth because he tried to push past Mr. Red and says, yeah, wait, I'm going to punch him. And then he looks at me and says, dude, I'm going to punch you. And then I told him, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Now guys, let me just say something. I don't like to fight anyone. I don't like trouble, okay? The only time I would possibly start swinging is if someone swings at me first, because that would be self-defense. Alright? Remember that, guys. Don't be the foolish one and swing first, okay? Swing back in self-defense. Alright? So then, yeah, I tell him I wouldn't do that if I were you. And I actually meant it. And he looks at me and says, what are you going to do, huh? What are you going to do? Now, guys, believe it or not, when I said I wouldn't do that if I were you, that was actually not a I'm going to retaliate and hit you back threat or anything. It was not a threat at all. It was, I don't know what it is. I'm guessing somewhat advice. But the truth is, I really wasn't going to do anything to him because, believe it or not, he wasn't worth it. Alright? Yeah, he pisses me off. But, again, he's not worth it. At the end, I gotta focus on myself and not get in trouble. So yeah, he wasn't worth it. So then I told him, what am I gonna do? And then he said, yeah, what are you gonna do, pal? Huh? I sit up straight and look at him and says, oh, I'm gonna do absolutely nothing except the following two things. I tell him, one, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off as security escorts you out here after you punch me. Alright? I'm gonna be laughing my ass off as they drag your ass out of here. And second of all, I'm going to be enjoying the next 2 to 3 days without having to see your dumbass because your dumbass got suspended. And for what? For nothing. So you're the one who's going to look stupid at the end. Now, I could tell that angered him, but at the same time I could see it got through his head at the same time. So then he quietly says, F you, and just goes back to his desk.
Sorry to interrupt, my baby boy.
So I'm guessing
I would have attacked Mao down in the middle of class and put his hands behind his back and take my belt off and tie them up and call the police. This is what I would have looked like.
So I'm guessing you can say I pretty much ended a conflict before it got ugly or something. Or just prevented things from getting ugly. Again, I didn't want to fight him. He wasn't worth it. But yeah, guys. Occasionally he still messed with me, but I kept being the bigger person and ignoring him. Alright, guys. Because, again, he's not worth it. He wasn't worth it. Yeah, I probably would not get in trouble if I fought in self-defense and all, but he ain't worth it. Alright? I'm not a tough guy or anything, but, you know, risking a suspension just isn't worth it. Especially with people like him. So yeah, guys, moral of the story is... Oh wait, guys, I forgot to mention. After he went to go sit down, Mr. Red walked over to me and says, "You alright?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just don't know what the hell his problem is." And he agrees and says, "Yeah, I don't know either." But yeah, I'm glad you talk things down or whatever. Well, I wouldn't really count as talking down or whatever, but he's just glad that I kind of prevented a fight or whatever, except I used slightly colorful language. And no, I didn't swear at him. But, you know, just the way I talked to him, just the way I talked him out, because yeah. What can I say? I was pissed. But yeah, Mr. Red said I did good ignoring him and not being nasty back at him. So I said thank you and continue on with my art project. Alright, guys, moral of the story is don't be like Mouth and don't start fighting. Don't threaten people that you're gonna punch them. Alright? Because at the end, the person who threatens to punch someone for no good reason ends up looking like the ass. Alright, guys? So again, moral of the story, don't be like Mouth. Just ignore him, stay cool. But if they swing at you, swing back in self-defense, alright? And or just be the bigger person and walk away. Take the high road. High road. Is that how it's called? High road or high route? Whatever, you guys know what I mean. Yeah, guys. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the story. Yeah, Mouth and I barely communicated, not even verbally attack each other. But occasionally he still messes with me every now and then, but I just ignored it. Alright, guys, well, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you all for watching. Sorry I'm getting a little rusty with story times again. It's been a while, but I'm gonna try to get back on track on it, see if I could, I'm not saying I'm doing story times wrong, but, I guess I do it right the way I used to. So yeah, sorry if I am a little rusty on it. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy. Please be sure to hit that like button. Leave a comment what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new, you guys want to see more, and turn on bell notifications if you guys want to see more. Please subscribe to Claire's channel. Links will be in the description below. And oh yeah, Twitter and Instagram, all links in the description below. And please be sure to join the Gunslinger Squad match on Discord. Most importantly, please subscribe to Claire's channel. Again, links are in the description below. Alright, guys, I'm getting here. Thank you all for watching, and see y'all next video. Later.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching. Check out this playlist. Check out this video. Subscribe to my girlfriends and my channel.